Hello, welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm here to share a very personal story and to let you know that without fashion, I would not have gotten my healing. So let's get into it. It was after in my 30s, I realized that I was having many miscarriages, and I became one of those people that the hospital in London had to use me as an experiment to know actually what was causing these miscarriages. So, come the year 1996, I just had stillborn of twins, and my whole life was shattered. This was before, prior to that, I'd had six miscarriages, and I didn't know what to do. And after the stillbirth of the twins, I sat on a chair for 3 months, and my whole life played in front of me. Like, what just happened? Did that just happen? Two boys, identical twins. And I felt gutted, didn't know where to go, what to do. I gave up hope. But you know what? When we think that is the end, we don't know, we don't realize that God also is there for us. So in 1997, I got pregnant again, and I thought, Lord, why? I don't want to have another miscarriage. I don't want to lose another baby. I want too many. And I felt that was just too much for me. So one day, I wasn't feeling too well. I'd gone to the hospital. I didn't even know I was pregnant. Gone to the hospital, feeling a bit lethargic and not feeling so well. And I was asked to go and have a pregnancy test. I had a pregnancy test. And guess what? I'm pregnant. And from that day, I was admitted into hospital. And I was on bed rest for 8.5 months. I was in St. Mary's Hospital in London, didn't see daylight, wasn't able to leave the hospital because they said I was high risk and they had to keep an eye on me. I saw women come into the antenatal ward, leave, have their babies, and come back and tell me, "Are you still there?" And I thought, God, what's going on? But at the time, what kept me going, I think there was World Cup. This was I had been in hospital end of 1997, and at one point in 1998 there was World Cup. So all I did was watch football. I'm not a football fan, mind you, but this child is after I had him became a fanatic. He's a footy son. So there I was, not knowing what was going to happen to me, and every day I came to take the vitals. I was lying there thinking, when am I going to leave hospital? Some doctors wanted to discharge me to go home. Some were saying, no, this is high risk, because at that time, coming up to 40, many women were seen to have the highest risk in pregnancy. Things have changed a bit now. So I thought, oh, well, is this my lockdown? In 2020, when everybody was screaming about lockdown, and I thought, yeah, 8.5 months in hospital. I did have my lockdown before the lockdown. But I'll tell you more about it. Halfway through the pregnancy, about my 20th week, everything started to go wrong. I had gestational diabetes, and I also had high blood pressure. And for the baby not to be born early, they said they had to give shots of steroids, and these shots of steroids were giving me all the complications. They raised my blood sugar, and my BP was high, and I didn't know what to do. Many women would come in, and in that hospital, it was like being in Grand Central Station. And I've seen many things in my life. One afternoon, we were having lunch, and a lady gave birth to a baby. As we were eating, I was horrified. Waters broke, and there was a baby. And the next thing, but a team of doctors, nurses descended, covered her up, whatever. There was a baby girl being born right in front of us. Oh my God, so much drama. And I thought, oh, I hope I'm not going to have my baby like this. So by the 20th week, too many things were happening. My BP was so high. They told me it was preeclampsia. I didn't know what preeclampsia was at that time. And all I was thinking, gosh, I'm not going to lose another baby, going to lose another baby. God, when am I going to have that one child? When am I going to have one child? I saw women come and go, and oh, it was harrowing for me. It wasn't something that you wished your worst enemy, because there are women who are trying to get pregnant, having IVF and all that. And here I am getting pregnant and losing them. But as a friend said to me, God does not give you what you can't carry. I said, God, why is this too heavy? Why is this load too heavy? And I had medical students come to use me as a specimen. And I thought, oh gosh, I can't let this guy fail. Some of them I would really say, oh, take my BP first. Some of them, and I became part of research, and I was paid at a certain time for being part of that research. And so one day, on the 2nd of July, I think my room became Grand Central Station. Yet again, a team of doctors came in and said to me, you are going to have this baby today. And I was just 30 weeks. I thought, 32 weeks. I said, what's going on? Why? I said, look, based on the test that we had yesterday and early this morning, if we don't go in, you're going to lose the baby, and we don't know what will happen to you. So there was my sister in the ward, and then they took me to the theater to have a cesarean section. All I could remember after having the epidural was looking at my sister, and tears were just in her eyes, and I thought, what's going to happen? For every attempt of the epidural, the needle came back out. No joy. On the 7th attempt, they were able to give the injection for me to have the cesarean section. And a few minutes later, there was the baby. My sister held the baby. The baby was very ill, rushed to NICU, and there I was. I could barely hold the baby, and eventually I was taken to the ward, and I heaved that sigh of relief. Thank God, I have a baby. I have a live baby, even though I could not hold the baby in my arms. So I was put in a room with 3 other women, and later on that night, as I got up to use the loo, 1 in a million statistics, my BP had hit the roof, and I had full-blown eclampsia. Straight to ICU, and I didn't actually know what was happening. My sisters thought I was going to die. I was in ICU for 6 weeks, and I remember the day my son was brought from NICU to see me. I'd actually forgotten that I had a baby, and a knock on the door, and they said, you have a visitor. And I thought, visitor? Who is that? So visitor was my baby that I had 6 weeks before. And I weed on myself. It was too much. I'd forgotten that I had a baby. I was too ill to even realize that. So that was my first bonding with my cute little boy. And I knew that I was on the mend. I was on the way home. I could carry my baby. For the first time, I latched the baby on and I held him so tight, so tight. I couldn't believe it that God had answered my prayers, because it's those things that men think are impossible are totally possible with God. And for all the women out there who have gone through miscarriage or baby loss, or even if you've had to be in hospital for a long time, I have been there. I know how you feel, but you know, one thing that kept me going all those months in hospital, 8.5 months of staying in hospital, I was lying in bed and crocheting hair ruffles. That kept my sanity, because I knew only if I could make something, only if I could make something, that would be what can keep my mind going. The hair ruffles were given away to nurses or people who came to visit me. So, can I ask you a question? How do you cope with difficult situations like this? Have you ever been in hospital for a long time, or do you know someone who has been in hospital for this long, or even for a month or 2 weeks? How did they cope? So I'm reaching out to all anybody who's been in hospital. Let's share our story. Share your story in the comments with me. And do subscribe to my channel for more pregnancy stories and more stylish stories. Comment, like, share, and I'll see you in my next video. Thank you.